Welcome everyone to another episode of Fixins and Friends. We are here in downtown Swainsboro with Michael Bright. He is the manager of Main Street Market and Antiques, and we are here today just to learn a little bit more about him and this big, huge antique store right here in downtown Swainsboro that brings in tons of visitors each and every week. So Mike, thanks so much for joining me today. Thanks for having us here.
We thank you for the opportunity. This is great to be here. Thank you for this great drink you brought.
Oh, good.
My favorite decaf, ice mocha. If you want one, that's where you need to go.
All the Fixins. Yes, so I manage all the Fixins. We have a food shop in Swainsboro and Twin City, but Mike has been super supportive since we opened our shop in Swainsboro. He pops in and he'll take pictures and post them on Facebook and brag on us. So thank you for all your support since we've moved to Swainsboro.
Well, I think that's what makes it. These businesses need to support each other here in Swainsboro.
That's right, and you do a great job of that, because I know you. A lot of times you'll tell people, hey, these are the places to go eat in Swainsboro if they were to come shop. You know, people are looking for other places.
That's right, we do. We get a lot of visitors through here. Matter of fact, our guest book has been signed by all 50 states and over 20 countries.
Oh, wow.
And we get at least 150 to 200 new visitors every month sign our guest book. That's new visitors, not including our regular customers. So a lot of folks come through.
That's amazing. Well, I love antiques, and I know a lot of other people love antiques. So just tell us a little bit about how well, first of all, how you came to Swainsboro, maybe a little bit about your background,
Sure.
And then a little bit of the history about the store.
Okay, well, great. I'm originally from Charleston, South Carolina. A job relocation brought me here to Swainsboro years ago.
Okay.
And so now how did I end up in Swainsboro? It's because I met my wife, Judy, who's from this area, and I met her, and that's how I ended up in Swainsboro area here, because this is her home, and we've now been married for 26 years. So I actually started a little antique store here in Swainsboro years ago called Swainsboro Antiques, and I was there for about 4 years, and then the antique mall was already here in town, and the antique mall was owned by the Downtown Development Authority, and they came to me and asked would I like to take it over. And when I took it over 9 years ago this month, matter of fact, there's only 12 dealers, and so I came in, and after that, I said within about 30, 60 days, 90 days in that range there, we've already had about 30 dealers by the end of the year. I was completely full with a full house now. We have actually 60 dealer booths.
60 dealer booths.
Right.
Okay.
There's only like 38 dealers though, because there are some dealers who have more than one booth.
Right.
So and right now we have a waiting list about a mile long. I mean, it's probably, I counted earlier, about 31 people on the waiting list at this time looking for a booth. So and we're here every day except Sunday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and that's the Main Street Market and Antique Mall.
Well, so tell folks a little bit about how it works from a standpoint of the dealers. I mean, all the dealers get their stuff from all over, you know, and then they come. Can they come anytime and put new stuff in their booth, or do they have certain days that new stuff might be
right? Well, they actually, most of their items are purchased from like estate sales, auctions, and things like that. And yeah, they're allowed to come in anytime through the week, Monday through Friday, to bring in items, and then Saturdays we kind of wait till after 3 on Saturdays because they're busier.
Right.
But well, we get 2 or 3 dealers probably come in a day to bring in something new, because it changes every single day. Being that the inventory moves so much and sells a lot, they try to get their inventory back in as soon as they can to make money off the rent, because they get charged a rent plus a percentage that goes to the market too.
Got it. Right. So I love coming in, and your helpers are always very friendly and load my stuff up and calculate all the, you know, hey, you're at this much now, do you want to keep this, or, you know, and so but I appreciate all of them. Tell me a little bit about your team.
Well, we got a great team here. The dealers themselves are great dealers here, and there's a few of the dealers who actually help me through the week. I've got Michelle who works with me a couple of days a week. I got Cindy who works with me, and then my own wife works with me a couple of days a week. But we do try to give the best service we can. We have a special loading zone area out here at the store where we don't have a lot of parking. Our parking is across the street, and that's something I need to mention too, that we don't use our front entrance, 215 West Main Street, because there's just no parking there. So you have to come around to the back to Roger Shaw Street, where we have plenty of parking area. We have handicap parking, and the loading zone area is just got a limited space because my dealers have to use that loading zone too to come in, and we try to let people say, hey, you can drop your maybe handicap off here, but then go back across the street and park. So that's what that loading zone area is there for. Like you said, if you come in and purchase items, you won't have to carry it all the way across the street. Just bring your car up here to the loading zone area, and we'd be glad to help you and load you up. So we're pretty blessed with that, and we try to give the best service we can around here.
That's right. Well, you guys do a great job, and I appreciate all of you.
All right. This is Michelle, one of our special dealers. So here she has been with us for 6 years, and Michelle started with one booth, and now she's up to 3 booths, and she also works with me here a few days a week. So Michelle, what do you think about Main Street Market being with us?
I think this is a great place. It's a great resource for Swainsboro, for Emmanuel County. We just have so many awesome customers that come in here. It's a happy place. When I worked full time, this was my Saturday job, and it was just a really stress-free, happy place. And after I retired, it just became something I do once a week and help Michael out. And he and Judy are just such great people. The city is so good to have this for the community, and it just is such a draw for people. We have so many visitors from out of town, out of state, and everybody that comes in here says, you've got a great place here. It's clean, it's organized, and Michael is the reason for that. He has all these rules, and some of us don't like that, but we have to abide by it, and it's for a good reason, because we have been named the best and small antique mall in Georgia for 2 years in a row, and so there's a reason for the rules and a reason for Michael being here, and it's just a great place to be, and I enjoy it. My mother and I started this venture, and now my daughter-in-law joined with us, and we have a really good time. We meet nice people. So this is one of my 3 booths. My mother, my daughter-in-law, and I all have different tastes. So we all look for different things. My mother really likes glassware. You can see a lot of glassware. Courtney likes the primitive. So we have 2 more booths that have that sort of stuff. I take the middle ground. I like furniture. So we just have a little bit of everything. We try to do some jewelry, pictures, just whatever I think people would like. Sometimes we get out of our comfort zone and get things that we don't particularly like, but that we feel like is a draw for other people. So we try to have a good variety here that you never know who's going to walk in and what they're going to be looking for. And so we just try to have a variety, and all of our dealers do. You can walk in the booths and see that everybody's sort of different,
We've got great dealers.
Great dealers, absolutely. It's like a big family, sometimes dysfunctional, but it is like a big family, and we love each other, and we all support each other, and we buy out of each other's booths, and so it's just a great place. Really is a good opportunity for all of us to take part of something so great here in Emmanuel County.
So with the okay, so I don't know why really. I have always been drawn to antiques. You can go to a Hobby Lobby and get stuff that looks old, or you can go to an antique store and actually get something that's old and it's well made, and it has a story to tell. So ever since my husband and I bought our first house, I just have loved going to antique stores when we were in Atlanta at the time, and just looking around for stuff to fill our home with that kind of had a little bit more character, than just going to TJ Maxx or Hobby Lobby, which those places are great, but it's nice to have the antiques. So what's the most fulfilling part about your job, seeing people come in and looking around? Like, what do you love about it the most?
It actually is meeting the people. It's amazing the people who come through this little town of Swainsboro, Georgia. As we are known as the great crossroads of the South, Highway 1 and Highway 80 crosses right here in Swainsboro, Georgia, and it's just meeting the folks. Again, we get all kind of, we get like retirement centers, bus loads come in, and they'll be a great place for a day trip if you do have a retirement center or a church group. We get a lot of those come through, and it's just awesome to meet those folks when they come through. And when they do come through, as we speak, and going back a little bit what you spoke about, it is an antique mall, but we do have more than just antiques. We got some of the new stuff like you were talking about, and old. So there's something in here it's 12,000 square feet, antiques, furniture, home decor. We have arts and crafts in here. We have an area here for our local arts and crafters. And then we even have like the man cave items, so there's a little bit of everything in here besides just for the women. We have men and women. So it's just an excellent selection that I always say that we're probably the largest gift shop in Emmanuel County or surrounding areas, because you can just find just about anything here.
Well, some of the items that are in our shop in Swainsboro came from here. I remember coming in and I was like, I need to fill it with some fun. My style is kind of a more rustic style, and so I was excited to come find some treasures whenever we opened our shop here. But you're right, it has a little bit of everything. And tell us a little bit, so you told me you have a background in music, and so tell us about how the music museum kind of started out, and a little bit about that. Well,
I was in music for about 25 years. I traveled all over the United States. I started in country music.
Okay.
And then gave my life to the Lord. And in 1995, I went full-time singing Southern gospel music. And I was on the road doing about 250 concerts a year.
Wow.
Throughout the United States. And I was between 95 2013 full-time. And during that time, being in the music industry, I had an opportunity to meet a lot of folks. And so I started collecting autographs back then. And I just kind of worked myself up to authentic items owned by singers. So I have inside here, when you come to visit the Music Memories, when you visit the Main Street Market, you'll find the Music Memories Museum.
Okay.
And it's, as I've told now, it's the largest collection of its kind of authentic items owned by country, rock and roll, and R&B singers. Because you'll find items in here owned by Elvis Presley, to Buddy Holly, to Michael Jackson, to Tina Turner, to Hank Williams Jr., Johnny Cash, Patsy Cline, Buddy. I mean, it can just go on and on. But you'll find hundreds of items in the museum. And one reason I thought it was pretty cool to have the museum here, a lot of people don't realize, but Swainsboro has a lot of music history. And one of those things is Hank Williams Jr.'s first time ever performing in front of a live audience was right here in Swainsboro.
Wow.
And there's a lot of other folks who performed here, like Brenda Lee. For the older folks, you may know who Brenda Lee is, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. Everybody hears her song every year on the radio.
Now, where did they perform? Was it like at the theater?
There's a place still standing to this day. It's called the Nancy Auditorium.
Okay.
And the Nancy Auditorium is now owned by the Emmanuel County Janitorial Service here in town. And we're trying to get a historical marker down there. Because hundreds of country music and rock and roll singers has performed there. I mean, it's just amazing and this was back in the 50s and 60s.
So there's like that old, long kind of warehouse.
It looks like, I call it an air barracks building or something like that. Okay. That's the Nancy Auditorium. The stage is still there. The curtains are still hanging up there to this day. There's a country singer, I don't know if people remember Grand Ole Opry star Webb Pierce. Him and the manager, who was the manager of the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee, his name was Jim Denny. Well, Jim Denny and Webb Pierce purchased the Nancy Auditorium and the radio station back in 1957 here in Swainsboro. And it was in contract that if you sung on the Grand Ole Opry stage, you also had to sing here on the Nancy Auditorium stage. So that's why hundreds of folks sang here. So you'll read a lot about that history here in the museum and other items. It's just a great place to come. It don't cost nothing. It's free admission.
Well, it pairs well, with the music. There's a lot of nostalgia, and it's brings back memories. When you go through and look at all the old music, and then that you have the antiques to pair with it, so it kind of works well.
And that's why I call it the Music Memories Museum. The memories, a lot of hopefully it does. And when you walk down these aisles, like you said, you want to see things that brings back memories to your grandparents' house, your parents' house, and things like that.
Well, is there anything that you would want the community to know about that maybe they don't know or you don't think they know? Any message kind of you want to get the word out about to make sure the folks around here know about you guys?
Yes, because it's amazing that at least once a week we still get someone right here who lives in Emmanuel County, Swainsboro, Georgia, walk in and say they've never been here before. We get a lot of folks who do come in and they say, that it's one of the nicest and cleanest antique stores I've ever been to. And matter of fact, you know, I don't know if you remember, but we had just been voted in the year 2021 and 2022 for the best antique store in the state of Georgia by the Georgia Business Journal.
Wow.
And so we get a lot of folks that it's just amazing. And when these folks come in from out of city and state, it's amazing how many say y'all have the most beautiful town and the most beautiful city, and then it's like people here locally don't see that. And it's amazing that the folks coming here are so amazed. And so when they come in here, it's just so awesome that they see this place. And I want the people here in Swainsboro to realize what kind of treasure we have here in Swainsboro. And that's why I brought the Music Museum in, because I'm trying to get folks into this town. I do all I can to support it, because there's so much here in this town that can be seen and done. And I hear so many folks say, oh, there's nothing ever to do in Swainsboro, or there's nothing here, nowhere to eat, and this. But you know, I get oodles of people from Vidalia, Dublin, Statesboro, around there, who come in here and say, man, y'all got so many places to eat good here. Y'all got so many things to do. We got nothing to do in Vidalia, nothing to do in Dublin and Statesboro. And it's so funny, it's backwards here. And people think out here in Swainsboro, but this is plenty to do here in Swainsboro. You just got to look for it and find it. And I think this is an excellent place to come. Just walk off. We don't have it playing now, but we have music usually playing over the intercom. Every song that you hear over the intercom, you'll find an item from that singer in the museum.
Oh, okay.
And that's from rock and roll, country, whatever. So I mean, it's just a good place just to come in. I get a couple of ladies from downtown who works, and they'll spend in here on their lunchtime about 10 minutes just to kind of walk through.
Retail therapy.
Yeah,
You know?
and that's exactly what they do, and it's amazing. So I just say check it out. You'll be amazed. Just come one time, and you'll probably come back.
Well, you take a lot of care into every detail, and that definitely shows. So thank you for your hard work. I know it's being here 6 days a week is hard.
Yeah, I'm here 6 days a week. Take me a little trip every now and then to break it up.
Well, thanks for being passionate about it and caring, because you're right. You know, we have to put that care and love into what we do, and it hopefully will bring people to Swainsboro, and then hopefully will make sure people understand that they have a lot to appreciate here in town. They don't have to leave.
That's right.
They just have to kind of look at what's right here under their noses and take
And you're doing that
advantage
same
of
thing right now. I appreciate what you're doing, because just what you're doing right now is awesome. Because you got a great place too down there, and it's just an awesome place to go. Same thing, very organized, very clean. That's one of my pet peeves about anything. So,
Right. Well, thank you. Yes, we want to make sure people, just to give people access to things that make them happy and bring joy. And the Pine Tree Festival is a big deal around here. So tell us a little bit about how that impacts your store, and maybe any other information you'd like to share about the festival.
Yes, a lot of folks may not realize, but the Pine Tree Festival is actually the longest running festival in the state of Georgia.
I did not know that.
Yes, and I want to say it's 76 this year or something, because they had to do a skip. I forgot they skipped because of the COVID and things, But anyway, I know it's about 76 years in that range, and it's coming up. It's always usually the first Saturday in May, and they block up the whole downtown for this, and they have a parade, and they have all kind of exhibits and arts, crafts, and a lot of shows to come visit, and it brings in, we'll get like a 1,000 plus, a little plus 1,000 that comes through the store on that day, because it's just so busy. They say it runs between 10 and 12,000 folks a year come to this festival. So put that in your calendar, first Saturday of May, the Pine Tree Festival.
Yes, sir, will do. Well, Michael, thanks so much for joining me today, and I know everybody has enjoyed learning a little bit more about what the store has to offer, so I appreciate you taking time.
Well, we thank you for what you're doing here also, and we appreciate it so much, and just like to invite everybody to come see us. We're open 6 days a week, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Saturday.
Thanks, guys, for joining Fixins and Friends. We'll see you guys next time.